Heavy metal is a genre of rock music that developed in the late 1960s and early 1970s with roots in blues rock and psychedelic rock. The bands that created heavy metal developed a thick, massive sound characterized by highly amplitude distortion, extended guitar solos, emphatic beats, and overall loudness. Heavy metal lyrics and performance styles are often associated with masculinity, aggression, and machismo. Hi, my name is Raghav and I'm a proud metalhead. I grew up in the metal capital of India, Bangalore. Ever since I was a kid, metal has been my passion. Listening to bands like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Megadeth, Slayer made me want to pick up guitar at the age of 19 and play what I like listening to. As an electronic media student, to show my appreciation and love for metal music and culture in Bangalore, I'd like to dedicate this documentary to all my fellow metalheads. What do you think about Bangalore metal music?
It's great. A lot of variety. You have right from thrash metal, death metal, doom metal, grind, sludge, black metal, name it. Bangalore's got everything. I mean, after all, Bangalore is the metal capital of India.
What are your favorite local bands?
You know, Dying Race, who else? Sanctum, yeah. Sanctum.
Renegade.
Shepherd is awesome.
Shepherd.
Yeah, we have Cryptos, we have Dvesha, we have Dying Embrace. That's like it's one of the oldest.
One of the godfathers.
Yeah, they're like our godfathers of metal in Bangalore.
For me, Cryptos, even for Somesh, was Cryptos. We've been following them like from the time we were in school. We have a lot of respect for that band, and Dying Embrace, Devasi, and Shepherd now. But primarily it was Cryptos. We are influenced by them because they play the kind of music, a combination of all the bands that we listen to, so we can relate to them really well.
When and what made you start the band?
Me and Ganesh were classmates actually, and both of us. He was actually in a band before I started even jamming with anyone. So his band broke up, and I played with them a few times, but then it was just the two of us left after the band broke up, and so we decided, let's do something on our own, and we put out an ad in a magazine, local magazine, Rock Street Journal, for a drummer, and 6 months later some guy answers, and he was a guy from Assam. His name was Chinglin. He was our first drummer.
We formed the band in '96. Why we formed it is because that was the time we were like between the ages of 17 and 20. Lots of testosterone and listening to all these mind-blowing bands like Slayer, Creator, and Sepultura, and Pantera, and all that stuff. So a combination of all the nice thrash metal listening to and the testosterone, yes, that's why we formed the band.
The band was formed by the guitar player Jimmy Palkiwala in '91, and the band was known as Misanthrope in '91. And I joined much later in about '94, and when the earlier vocalist left the band, and we changed the name of the band in about '96. The band was earlier playing more death metal, and after myself and the new bass player joined, the band was slightly going in a doom metal, death doom direction. And we felt that I think we should change the name of the band at the same time. We had 2 new members in the band as well. And that's when we decided to call the band Dying Embrace.
It was basically a love for metal initially. We didn't have death metal in our mind when we started, because me and Somesh were friends from the time we passed out of school. So we were mostly into Maiden, the usual heavy metal bands. We liked them a lot. So throughout pre-university we had a heavy metal band. So once we were done with that, and slowly during that 2 years we heard more death metal bands, like Bolt Thrower, Vader and stuff. So we were really inspired. We had a good vibe about that kind of music. So we thought we should give it a shot. So that's how it started.
We started the band in 2011. I knew Namit through ex-singer Mahesh, and we got my ex-bassist from my old band, Muni, play bass. And we started jamming on a lot of like doomy songs that we were listening to at the time. York, but I Hate God, Melvins, and then we like gradually started writing songs. But for the longest time we were only playing fully improvised sets. Like, so we would just get really high and start jamming basically. So no one was giving us gigs. But then we slowly started writing songs, and now we are kind of a legitimate band.
I was listening to a lot of doom metal. I think around 2008 or so was when I met this guy called Kaustubh, who was also listening to the same kind of music as I was, and we basically thought we'll come up with some riffs and we'll jam basically without the drummer, without the bassist, without anybody else. So we were just kind of getting together in my bedroom and generally jamming and all that. So we got some songs together. So we recorded that stuff and we called it Baversi at that time. We weren't serious about being in a band or anything, but the songs started to sound good.
What are your main influences?
Our main influences are just 3 bands. It's Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath. That's like...
Yeah, I mean, for anybody who's starting out in music, it's obviously you've got to follow your heart. Not what's written down on paper or music books and all that. Because I've known a lot of people who've done that and they stick to the books and they fall years behind. I think you've got to follow your heart, follow your passion, follow your dream.
2009 we saw Iron Maiden in India. That was just something. 2009, that's when we played.
Oh, when we played.
Yeah, the first time I saw them, of course.
Yeah.
But when we got to open for them, and that was like a total surreal scene for like us, you know, because like any band in this heavy metal scene, what we call a heavy metal scene, as any band, man, anybody would want to be on the same stage as Iron Maiden, man. It's fucking Iron Maiden.
What makes you sound different from other bands?
It's definitely not the gear we use or anything, so I guess it's what you listen to, you know, whatever comes out is what you put inside your head. So we listen to a lot of different stuff, and so it all comes out differently. I think the same goes for any band really. You can try to be a copycat band, but you'll never be a copycat band because it's I don't think it's possible. It could, I mean, unless you're trying to make a career out of impersonating someone else. But think as long as you're listening to music and you're trying to write, it will stand out from whatever else is happening.
Primarily I can say the whole atmosphere, the riffs that Somesh writes, and my vocal composition in Kannada. I think that's a good blend. I don't want to say that our Kannada, including Kannada in our lyrics, something unique. Basically death metal with growling vocals. You can't make out if it's in Kannada or not. But I don't know the the pronunciation, the whole tone of it, the frequency or whatever matches very well with the riff that he writes. So there's this sense of mysticism and there's this dark tone to it. So, and it's catchy and it's straightforward riffing and stuff. So it's quite different from what death metal was here before than Cannibal Corpse. We don't have blast beats like going throughout the song. We have variations. I think that's what makes us different.
How was the music scene back then and how is it now?
In terms of the kind of bands and the number of bands that are around, I'd like to think that the scene is a lot better now, because there's a lot of really good young bands that are around, and unlike when we started off, people have access to equipment and affordability and so on and so forth a lot more now.
Back when we started playing in the mid-90s, there was nothing. I mean, there was just freedom jams that used to happen once a month, and the only other shows that you get to play were college competitions. The bands today have more choice in the sense that it is not too difficult to do it by yourself. Like get a couple of bands, rent out sound, rent a place, and if you promote it well, if you market it well, if you have a good lineup playing, if you're smart, you'll actually end up not just covering your costs, you'll also make a little bit of money in the bargain. But the most important thing is people, at least Beaversea fans or Cryptos or Dying Embrace or Dvesha fans, whoever it may be, we are seeing them coming out in numbers, and that wasn't the case about 15-20 years ago.
Yeah, there was more sponsorship from like college festivals and stuff, and metal bands got chances to play. There were the freedom jams as well. But now it's basically independent organizers organizing shows.
No matter whichever genre, no matter what, because Bangalore has always, in my opinion, since the 80s, since back then, they've always had the best bands. And I don't know, man. In Bangalore, it's like the people, they connect more to the music than with other cities. They don't. Other cities, and we've played in Delhi, Bombay, Hyderabad, Chennai. Of course, there are a lot of, the crowds are pretty great in most of these places and stuff. But in Bangalore, it's, they know their stuff over here. It's like you can't really fool a guy, and you can't fool an audience in Bangalore.
Any word of advice for the aspiring musicians?
Nothing. I mean, play music, play gigs, and make it about the music and not about petty ego.
Don't do it. Oh, sorry.
Keep your mouth shut first, learn your craft and perfect it.
Exactly. I got too many people,
Youngsters, younglings, like Star Wars, younglings.
too many people trying to play without knowing how to play the instrument properly.
And yabba.
And yabba. Talking too much. So it's better our advice is shut your mouth, sit at home, practice your instrument, and then when you become good at it, then go out and do other shit.
How do bands promote their music?
Right now, Facebook, SoundCloud, so on and so forth. Unfortunately, like everything else that's sold, music is a product as well, and you need to know how to sell it. That's one of the things that I'm still trying to learn, how to sell my music. But yeah, Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube apparently is not going to be around for much longer doing what they do now. So yeah, that's the way bands get their sound out there. And at gigs, people come to gigs if people like your music and they buy your CDs, then yeah.
I think now with people in bands and musicians starting labels and distributing music, I think that's a step forward, because there's really no one distributing music or releasing music in that rock and metal genre thing. But now with the Mighty Riff Records and Mouth of Art distribution and Cyclopean Eye, I mean, this is just Bangalore and I'm not even aware of what's happening outside, but there's already people who are willing to put money up and release your band's music if it fits their sound and whatever ideology, whatever they stand by.
As long as you're okay with going a bit commercial, make jingles and play for corporate gigs where they give you a lot of money, play college fest, so it prefers on what you want to do. If you want your band to be like lesser known underground band, you can't make living out of music. No, not in India, because you get gigs not so often, and you can't expect them to pay a lot of money, because even they put in their own money. They don't get sponsors from different places, so it's their own money that they shell out from their pocket. So if they break even, that's a great thing. And if they make profit, yeah, they will share some amount of money with the band, but not so much. You can't make a living out of it. So if there are more organizers in India and a band can go on a tour for a long time and they get paid, then you can say you can't be over ambitious like buy a bungalow and all, but at least you can sustain.
The current lineup, right?
Yeah, this is the current lineup, yeah.
The Bangalore metal scene, well, it's been growing from the time I've been part of the scene. Well, let's say I've been part of the scene from almost 10 years now, and from what it was back then to what it is right now, it's been changing, growing rapidly, and probably it would take another, I would say, 7 to 8 years to be how it is back in Europe.
We are very glad to host today the third volume of metal bands from India that have been invited to Wacken. All of them had played there, and today we are very lucky because it was at the same time 15 years of Kryptos.
There are a lot of gigs also happening. On the other hand, there's less exposure in terms of picking off, the bands that have to play. It always depends on what the crowd turns out, which I can't blame on the organizers. But yeah, that needs to change. There needs to be a lot more bands playing. There's a good landscape, but it needs to improve a lot more.
Well, I don't think anybody has ever thought of giving an underground scene in Bangalore. So yeah, and most of the metal bands want an underground scene to be there.
What is metal?
There's magic.
It's difficult to put it in a short sentence. I don't know, you can't really describe heavy metal, no?
It's a feeling, man. It's that
very heavy.
Cutlangs. No, I think Ozzy summed it up the best. He said it's like that feeling you get in your spine when you have an orgasm, that's heavy metal.
Metal's back in 1980. That's what metal is.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it just cuts through bullshit. I'll say metal. I think people get too caught up in this whole metal thing.
Metal. It's metal.
But it's all about who you are, what you believe in, and what you want to do.
Understanding the world on a deeper level.
Metal is fast, angry, slow, sludgy, depressing at times. Awesome drinking music.
Metal is a very positive thing. It's all about the energy. You can't say it's just about getting wasted and all that. You can make people think about a lot of things. It's like you can say it's like reading a book or watching a movie or anything. You can change people's mood. It's a tool to change people's mood, give them energy.
It's a state of mind for me. It's the thing I listen to most of the times. I mean, I listen to all genres, I mean, everything. But metal is what I listen to most of the times.
In this growingly diverse world, we all must learn to appreciate and understand different cultures. Music is a unique art where sounds are interpreted by individuals in their own ways, and no popular consensus views hold any ground. No matter how much someone may dislike heavy metal music, for someone else it is their passion or their auditory mental vacation in life. Could you really take that away from someone because the style of music is unconventional, or because to you it sounds like the music is violent? Heavy metal bands are committing no crime, and those who are fans of the music are doing nothing more than enjoying blues humidity. With the growing popularity of festivals like Bangalore Open Air, NH7 Weekender, Rock in India, there's a positive vibe that metal in India has momentum like never before. Keep metal alive.
Metal is something very personal to me, and I can relate myself to it with emotions, aggression, love, happiness. To put it in simple, metal has been there for me through all the hard and good times. I would like to thank all the artists, metalheads, friends, and my family for all the support they've shown to do what I like doing. Keep metal alive. Yeah!